The third operation on function is multiplication. Multiplication is in the form, we have f times g of x is equal to f of x times g of x. So before we proceed on multiplying functions, let us first have a short review on some basic concepts on multiplication. First is the rule of the signs. So the rule of the signs is applicable on both multiplication and division. So when a number is divided or multiplied to another positive number, the result is positive. Next, when a negative number is divided or multiplied by another negative number, the result is positive. When a positive number is divided or multiplied to a negative number, the result is negative. And when a negative number is divided or multiplied to a positive number, the result is negative. So the general rule on multiplying or dividing is that when multiplying numbers or terms with like signs, the result is always positive. On the other hand, when multiplying numbers or terms with unlike signs, the result is always negative. Next will be the multiplication of monomials. For example, we have x times x. X times x is equal to x squared. Then, x raised to 4 times x squared is equal to x raised to 6. Then 2x times y is equal to 2xy. Then 2x squared times 4x cubed is equal to 8x raised to 5. And 3x cubed times 2y squared, that is 6x cubed y squared. So on multiplying monomials, the rule is that first, multiply the numerical coefficients. So numerical coefficients are the numbers on the left side of the literal coefficient. So in this case, we have the literal coefficients x and x. As you can see, there are no numerical coefficients or numbers on the left side of them. But there is an imaginary one beside them. So multiplying them now, 1 times 1, that is 1. So there is also an imaginary one beside x. Then, next will be copy the variable or the variables. So in this case, we only have an x variable. So copy x. Then, add the exponent or the exponents of the common variables. So in this case, the variable x and another variable x are common. So let us add their exponents. So the exponent of x is 1. There is an imaginary one on top of x. Same is true with another x. There is also an imaginary one on top of it. So adding now the exponents of x and x, that is 1 plus 1, that is y, it become 2. So x times x is equal to x squared. Next is x raised to 4 times x squared. So multiply the numerical coefficients. 1 times 1, that is 1. Then copy the variable which is x. Then add the exponent or the exponents of the common variables. So 4 plus 2, that is 6. Next, 2x times y, that is, so multiply the numerical coefficients. We have 2 and an imaginary 1. 2 times 1, which is 2. Then copy the variables, so we have x and y. Then add the exponents of the common variables. In this case, they are not common variables because x and y are different variables. Next, 2x squared times 4x cubed is equal to, so multiply the numerical coefficients. 2 times 4, that is 8. Then copy the variable, so that is x. Add the exponents of the common variables. So 2 plus 3, that is 5. The next, so 3 times 2, that is 6. Copy the variables. We have x and y. Since there are no common variables, so copy their exponents. Now, proceeding with multiplication of functions. First example, we have two given functions, f of x and g of x. F of x is equal to x squared and g of x is equal to 2x cubed. So find for f times g of x. So that is also the same as f of x times g of x. So replace f of x with the given function. So that is x squared times g of x, which is 2x cubed. So x squared times 2x cubed, that is 2x raised to 5. So another example, we have the function f of x and g of x. So f of x is x minus 5, then g of x is equal to x cubed plus 4. Find for g times f of x. So that is also the same as g of x times f of x. So replace g of x with its function, that is x cubed plus 4. Then times f of x, which is x minus 5. So notice that the two functions are binomial. Therefore, this is a product of two binomials. So we will apply the FOIL method. So FOIL method stands for the first terms, outer terms, inner terms, and the last terms. So in this case, the first terms are x cubed and x. So x cubed times x, that is x raised to 4. Then we have the outer terms. So we have the outer terms. So let us write first. So the outer terms are x cubed and minus 5 or negative 5. So we have this. So x cubed times negative 5, that is negative 5x cubed. Then the inside terms or the inner terms, we have 4 and x. So 4 times x, that is 4x. So plus 4x. Then the last terms, we have 4 and negative 5. So 4 times negative 5, that is negative 20. Then simplify further. If we can simplify it, on this case, we cannot simplify it anymore because there are no more similar terms. So that is the final answer. Another example. So we have f of x is equal to x minus 1 and g of x is equal to 3x squared plus 5x minus 4. So find for f times g of x. So that is also the same as f of x times g of x. So replace them with their corresponding equations or functions. So that is f of x, which is x minus 1, then multiplied by g of x, which is 3x squared plus 5x minus 4. So in this case, this is a product of a binomial to a trinomial. So we cannot apply FOIL method anymore. It is because they are not balanced anymore. So what we can do here is to multiply all the terms here in each terms here. So meaning to say, x will be distributed on each terms here. The negative 1 will also be distributed on each terms here. So that will now become x times 3x squared. So that is 3x cubed. Then x will be distributed to 5x. X times 5x, that is 5x squared. Then we have x will be distributed with negative 4. X times negative 4, that is negative 4x. So we are already done with x. Next will be negative 1. So negative 1 will be distributed with 3x squared. So that is negative 3x squared. And negative 1 will also be distributed with positive 5x. So negative 1 times positive 5x, that is negative 5x. Then 1 will also be distributed with negative 4. That is negative 1 times negative 4, which is positive 4. And then simplify it further by combining the similar terms. So we have 3x cubed. There are no more terms which is similar with this. So copy 3x cubed. Then 5x squared. So we have 5x squared and negative 3x squared as similar terms. So combine them. So positive 5x squared plus negative 3x squared, that is positive 2x squared. Then we also have negative 4x and negative 5x. So negative 4x plus negative 5x, that is negative 9x. Then copy plus 4. So that is the final answer, which is 3x cubed plus 2x squared minus 9x plus 4. And last example, given the functions f of x and g of x, where f of x is equal to x plus 2 and g of x is equal to x squared minus 3. Find for f times g of negative 2. So just like on addition and subtraction, we can solve this using the two process. So for process A, find for f times g of x first, and then evaluate it with the given value of x, which is negative 2. So let us first find f times g of x. So that is, our f of x times g of x. For f of x, we have x plus 2 times g of x, which is x squared minus 3. So this is a FOIL method. So first terms, x times x squared, that is x cubed. The outer terms, x and negative 3, that is negative 3x. The inner terms, we have 2 and x squared, that is positive 2x squared. Then the last terms, 2 and negative 3, that is negative 6. So in this case, we cannot simplify it further because there are no more similar or like terms. Now, it's time for us to evaluate it with the given value of x, which is negative 2. So that is f times g of negative 2. So replace all the x variables with negative 2. That is negative 2 cubed minus 3 times negative 2 plus 2 times negative 2 squared minus 6. So negative 3 cubed means negative 2 times negative 2 times negative 2. So negative 2 times negative 2, that is 4. 4 times negative 2, that is negative 8. So that is negative 8. Then negative 3 times negative 2, that is positive 6. Then we also have negative 2 squared, which is equal to 4. Then 4 times 2, that is positive 8. Then copy minus 6. So negative 8 plus 6 plus 8 minus 6, that is equal to 0. The other way is to find for f of negative 2 and g of negative 2 first. So for our f of negative 2, that is equal to x plus 2, which is equal to negative 2 plus 2. Negative 2 plus 2 is equal to 0. Then find for g of negative 2. So that is x squared minus 3. Then replace x with negative 2. That will now be negative 2 squared minus 3. So negative 2 squared is 4, then minus 3, that is equal to 1. Then find for the product of f of negative 2 times g of negative 2. F of negative 2 is 0, then multiplied by 1. So 0 times 1, that is equal to 0. So they are just the same. That is the multiplication of functions.